Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar, and here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Friday the 23rd day of November. Here we go. Today's halacha is about the timing of tefillas. Let me explain what I mean here by that. You know that mincha, of course, generally, is described as the afternoon prayer. When you say mincha, it's supposed to be in the afternoon. When you say marv, it's supposed to be at night. The reason I'm saying it like that is because the circumstances sometimes make it happen that people sometimes can mess up on where they're putting their mincha and their marv. Ideally, the best place to daven your mincha in the clock is somewhere between mincha gedola, which is a half an hour after the middle of the day. That half an hour is not exactly measured as 30 minutes, but you divide the day into 12 parts, the day meaning the daylight time, into 12 parts. Each of those parts is called an hour. You take a half of one of those hours, you add it on to the middle of the day, and that's the earliest time in the day to say mincha. In the Baltimore area, that's around 12:20 in the afternoon right now, just to give you a rough idea. So you have to daven mincha after that half an hour after the middle of the day. And then ideally mincha should be done with and finished before the sun goes down. That's where mincha belongs. Marav, the evening prayer, belongs most preferably, it's best done when it's after nightfall. After the stars come out in the sky, that's the time when Shabbos ends in your area. Marav is best davened after that. But here's what sometimes happens. Sometimes people daven mincha and marav together in a shul, and that's fine, as long as they are in two separate time periods. That's the main halacha I want to get to you today. If you're planning to get mincha done before sundown and marav done after sundown, which is allowed, but make sure that it happens that way. Because if you're a little late starting mincha, and mincha ends up happening after sundown, and marav ends up happening after sundown, then you just did two different time-framed tefillas that both ended up in the same time frame, and that's weird. Mincha belongs in a separate time frame from Marav. So if you're davening Mincha before sundown, then Marav should be after sundown. If Mincha happens somehow not so properly after sundown, then Marav should be in the next time frame, which would be after the three stars come out. But to have Mincha and Marav happen exactly in the same time frame is problematic. So if you have to do it, speak to a rabbi. Some will allow it, but I'm talking about the ideal way to set up your mincha and your marav is such that they end up in two separate time frames. Like if they're divided by, best is if they're divided by one of them was before sundown and one of them was after. It would even be more fantastic if mincha was before sundown and marav was after nightfall. But at least that they should end up not in the distinct same time frame. And if they did end up that way, it's possible, according to some rabbis, that you still fulfilled it. It's just not the ideal way of arranging your mincha and your marav. Hope that wasn't too complicated. Thanks for logging on. Log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.